Good evening, kids. Again, welcome to my classes. You're not new to me. You have been seeing me for several days now, and the quality which I am providing is well known to you. Again, I'm requesting you not to go for subscription, not to go for liking. If you prefer it, if you like the subjects or the core concepts which is provided to you, you can go for liking, you can go for subscription. If it is of any use to you, only then you go, you subscribe, you see my channel, you learn from it, and learning is a continuous process. This will keep on continuing for several years and will go on. So the main thing is that if you find the core concept which is being taught here useful to you for class 10th, 11th, 12th, 8th, 9th, 10th, whatever syllabus I'm taking up here, if it is interesting, if it is, tickling your brain, you can surely like it, subscribe it, and follow it. At first, I would like to say you that this channel has been specially designed for the kids who is not up to the mark due to many reasons well known to everyone that for several years we have been lagging behind. My education is not up to the mark. We have been not educated in regular schools since last 2.5 years due to this disease. People were not attending their schools, teachers were absent, they were doing online classes. So in this online classes, many geometrical facts or many of the critical facts has been left behind, but still the problem is that full-fledged offline classes have not begun yet. So my assistance to you only is online classes which I'm giving to you. If you are finding it tough, time and again I'm telling you to write your problem so that I can solve the problem for you. At present, I'm going to take up class 10th quadratic equation which I left somewhere and want to continue that topic today. As I was discussing mathematics quadratic equation chapter 4.3, in which I told you that there is no hard and fast rule that you should follow to solve the equation. There can be several methods of solving equations, and it is not necessary that you must go by the single stereotype process. You can follow 3 or 4 processes which has been prescribed in your class. Either you can solve it by middle term splitting method, you can solve the quadratic equation by using the formula, that is a bona fide formula given to you by our ancient mathematician Sridhara. At the same time, you can go by that square completing method also. But in previous class, which I left you, that was Cephali's marks in mathematics and English. It was question number 5 of exercise 4.3 NCERT book. From there onwards, I want to finish all those important questions which I think is important to you. You should understand that, you should know the concept. And I told you in previous lecture of quadratic equation that the sums are different, the concepts are totally different. As I was telling you about that Pythagoras theorem use, or sometimes the distance and speed and time use, and sometimes time and work use, those things are having different concepts every time. But 2 or 3 questions are very important. I have been asked in the board, which I want to discuss here. At the same time, I will not leave any sum for you that you'll tell me that this sum was not done by you and this has been asked in the paper. I'll try to do all of them in limited time. So let us begin with the exercise question number 6. Exercise standard. It is standard. It is standard 10. Standard 10. Chapter is well known to you. 4.3 free exercise of NCERT, and chapter is quadratic equations. I'm writing in short. Every time I'm writing in short because there is no use of writing the big spelling. We're not going to appear in English test here. So question 6, the statement goes like this. The diagonal of a rectangular field is 60 meters more than the shortest side. So what is the sum? The sum says it is a rectangular field. So this is a rectangle in which opposite sides are equal. This is the geometrical concept. And then they say about its diagonal. So diagonal is the line segment joining the opposite vertices. So this is the diagonal. And if I say ABCD is a rectangle, then the shortest side, I'm letting the shortest side is equal to x meters as the question says, and this diagonal shortest side is x meters. So I suppose this to be x meter. This is also going to be x because opposite sides of a rectangle are equal. And this db, the diagonal of rectangle is 60 meter more than the shortest side. So this is going to be 60 meter more than the shortest side. So according to question, this is x plus 60 meters more than the shortest side. And if the longer side is 30 meter more than the shortest side, and which is the longer side? I'm supposing this DC to be the longer side. This is x plus 30 meters. So these are the conditions according to question. So I put everything just here, that this is x plus 60 meter. This is the longest side, that is x plus 30 meter, and this is x meter. And as you all know the concept of rectangle, that each angle of a rectangle is 90 degree and angle C is 90 degree. So very well, the concept goes like this, that this BCD is a right triangle. This BCD is a right triangle, and once BCD is a right triangle in which angle C is 90 degree. So as I find any right triangle, the concept of Pythagoras just flashes in my brain, that if I use Pythagoras theorem in this triangle, I can come out with the solution. So what the Pythagoras theorem says, that hypotenuse square, that is the side opposite to right angle, and that is dB here, is equal to perpendicular square plus base square. This is the statement given by a famous mathematician Pythagoras. So by Pythagoras theorem, in any right triangle, the square of the hypotenuse, that is opposite to the right angle, that is the longest side here. So this is going to be equal to x plus 60 whole square, that is x plus 30 whole square, and plus x square. So this is according to Pythagoras theorem. And now I have got an expression in x. My purpose is to solve this expression simply by expanding the formula a plus b whole square. So formula goes like this: a square plus 2 into x into 60, that is 120x, that is 120x, 2 into x into 60, that is 2ab 120x, plus 60 square is 3600. Similarly here, a plus b whole square, making use of this formula a plus b whole square wherever needed. So that is a square plus twice of a into b plus b square. This formula is being used here. Here also x square, this time it is 2 into x into 30, that is 60x, plus 30 into 30 is 900, and plus x squared. And if I can cancel these two, I can very well do it. So I'm going to the next page now, x square plus 60 plus 900 is equal to x square plus 60x plus 900 is equal to, I'm turning the page here, is x square got cancelled, 120x plus 3600. 120x plus 3600. So I've carried things correctly. Now to the next page I am finding this 60x minus 120x. This is by transposing, bringing right to left. The sign changes. 900 minus 3600 is 0. So everything is brought towards left. And then you are getting x square minus 60 minus 120, that is like term, minus 60x minus 900 minus 3600. So what is 900 minus 3600? 2700. But that is with negative sign. 2700 is equal to 0. Now I would go for the factorization of this. And this time 2700 is a big number. So here I can have the option of a square completing or by middle term splitting. So until I can do by square completing or by middle term splitting method. So that 2700 will be the product, that is minus 2700. I'm following this middle term splitting because till then we have done that process only, and the sum is to be kept minus 60, and this is possible if I do 90 negative and plus 30 positive. Is it so? Because 30 minus 90 brings 60, 30 into minus 90 brings minus 2700. So according to my logic, things are correct. So I can put this 60x, I'm splitting this 60x into two parts, that is negative 90x, and how I split it, that you know well, 90x plus 30x and minus 2700. The weakness completely lies within you because you are not so expert in pairing and not so expert in tables. So ladder learning is very important. So try to learn all the ladders as far as possible, as I have done in my student life. X minus 90 plus 30 into x minus 90. So I got two factors, that is x minus 90, one of the factor, and the other is x plus 30 is 0. So simultaneously equate these two to 0, and this can be 0. So both are giving you two answers. This gives you x equal to 90. This gives you x equal to 30. But this cannot be accepted because, as I told you, distance can never be negative. Distance can never be negative. So these are in meters, and therefore this distance can never be negative. So this is not accepted here. So I'm accepting this x to be 90 meters. So if x is 90 meter, this is the shortest side according to question. This is the shortest side according to question, and the longest side is 30 meter more than the shortest side. So 90 plus 30 is 120 meter. And if they ask you about the diagonal, you can write 60 meter more than 90. So that is 90 plus 60 is 150 meter. Now it depends what they have asked you, that you can write. So they are asking you to find the two numbers. Oh no, I'm mistaken. They are saying you to find the sides of the field. Sides are already done. This is one of the side and this is another side. So sides are 90 meters. Sides of rectangle are the longest side 120 meter and the shortest is 90 meter. So write thing in words here, because finally this x is to be translated into words, and that's the answer. So this answer is clear to you. So if you find the things not clear, you can once go through it, ask me in the comment section again that sir, I have got this difficulty in this problem and how did you solve it, let me know. Going to the second question, this question 7, as I told you, needs a little bit of concept here. And what is that concept? That says difference of squares of two numbers is 180. Difference of squares of two numbers. So this time you have to let two numbers to be x and y. Let two numbers be x and y. And I suppose y to be smaller than x. Consider like this. Why I'm considering this? That I'll let you know. So they say difference of squares of two numbers is, this is the difference of squares of two numbers is 180, and the smaller number, the square of the smaller number, and the square of the smaller number, as I suppose this to be smaller, the squares of the smaller number is 4 times the larger numbers, and larger is x here. So these are the two conditions. And if I make use of this condition by simply substitute this y square in this, you will get a quadratic equation. So put y square equal to 4x, because in solving quadratic equation you do not have two variables here, you will have only one variable, that is x only or y only or z only. So I'm simply replacing this y square as 4x as it was stated here in second condition. The smaller number square is 4 times the larger number. So I'm substituting this here, that is x square minus 4x is equal to 180. And if I bring all the things to one side and put it in standard form of quadratic equation, this is the expression, quadratic expression. Not quadratic equation, not expression this time, because this is equated to 0, so this is an equation. Here you can have a choice. I'm always going by middle term splitting method, because I've not studied another method. I've studied that one perfect square method, but that is not useful here. So here product is minus 180 and the sum is minus 4. So which two numbers you will take, that will give you the product to be 180 and sum to be 4. So see the prime factorization, how intelligently things can be done. If you don't know, this is the small number, so I'm going by prime factorization only and keep on trying. 2 into 90, go further, 2 into 30, 2 into 45, and keep on checking. 3, 15, and 5, 3. And now find the pairs. Find the pairs now. So you can find the pairs as 3 3 are 9, 2 are 18, and 10, that is not the good pairing. 3 2 are 6 2 are 12, and 15, that is also not a good pairing. So which pair you will take? That the product will become 180. And so one more thing is that 180 can be written as 1 into 180. This can be also tried sometimes if you are stuck somewhere. 2 into 90, 3 into 30 is 90, 4 into 45 is 90, 5 into 2 into 90 is 180, 3 into 60 is 180, I'm mistaken here, 4 into 45, now 4 into 45, 4 into 45, yeah, 4 into 45 is 180, 5 into 5 3 are 15, 36 is 180, 6 into 30 is 180. See the difficulty, how pairing becomes difficult if you don't use brain. So 1 into 180 is 180, 2 into 90, because I'm seeing the pair where 4 is coming by subtracting or adding. So 1 into 180 is 180, 2 into 90 is 180, 3 into 60 is 180, 4 into 45 is 180, 5 into 36 is 180, 6 into 30 is 180, 8 into, no, it's not divisible by 8, 180. So where is 180? The difference of squares of two numbers is 180 that I've written here. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9. 9 into 20 is 180, 10 into 18 is 180, and I am mistaken here because I have not observed the sum, and I'll keep on trying. I'll not be able to make the pair because I have not read the sum properly. This time, this is the absence of mind. Just see. And if you are trapped in absence of mind, you will get stuck like me. So I got stuck because I did not go through the sum properly. It says the square of the smaller number is 8 times the larger number, not 4 times. And therefore I kept on trying. I could not come out with a solution because I was not concentrating on reading the sum properly. So as I told you, if you don't read the sum properly, you will face trouble like me and you will waste your time in board exam. So be cautious. I'm deleting all the things, every effort gone waste, and I have to retry because I did not read the sum properly. And this is done by several kids, which I have done here. This is 8 times x, not 4 times x. And if I'll keep on trying, I will keep on trying, I will never come out with the answer. And if I write it correctly, I will come out with the answer. Just see, I'm coming out with the answer 180. So now you can say it can be easily done. The product is minus 180 and sum is minus 8 this time, not 4 here. 8, and that is also negative 8. So now if you do this way, 1 into 180, 2 into 90, 3 into 60, 4 into 45, 5 into 36, 9 into 20, 10 into 10 into 80, 10 into 18, and this is the thief which I want to look for. So in this way I'm filtering the thief where the thief is hiding. So I've got the thief here and the thief is here. So x square minus 18x plus 10x minus 180, 0. And now you just see things are coming very correctly. 10 minus 18 is minus 8. 10 into minus 18 is 180. So once I gone wrong, I wasted my too much of time. So if I waste my time in board like this, what happens? You are doing dishonesty to another problem and your some of the sums will be left because the time is calculated there. So keep in mind, here I have time, so I have wasted it, but the time cannot be wasted in board exam. So you take care of that. X minus 18 is 0, one of the factor, and the other factor is x plus 10, that is 0. So if you take these two simultaneously, x gives you 18 and x gives you minus 10. And I have to check whether these two numbers are positive or negative. Squares of two numbers, so they are the numbers only. So it can be, numbers can be negative and positive both, but the square of numbers should be positive. So 18 is one of the number. If I take 18 as x, so y square is equal to 8 into x. 8 into 18, so y square equal to 144. So y equal to, if I take positive root only, it is 12. So I can say the numbers are 12 and you know, 18, 12 and 18. The larger number is 18 and the smaller number is 12, and let me check it. And one of the thing I have neglected, that is x is minus 10. If I take minus 10, then y square becomes 8 into minus 10. Just see the thing. If I say this is the method of pairing which I've used here, actually this is prime factorization only. So if I put x equal to minus 10, in that case I am getting y square is 8 into minus 10. So y square is minus 80, and the square root of negative is imaginary number. So therefore this value of negative 10 is discarded, is an imaginary number which is beyond the scope of this book, so therefore I cannot take this one. So you can accept only x to be 18, and by putting this x in this equation, second I'll get put x in equation 2, you are getting y as positive square root, that is 12. So according to me the answers must be 18 and 12 are the required numbers. Wasted too much of time on this because was very careless while reading the sum. Question 8. I have to go through the problem. It says a train travels 360 kilometer. So in these questions, this is a board type of question. Several times I was hinting about this question. This is a board type question, and which comes in how many marks? In section D, I think 5 marks question. So board type question is written here, and they ask you this type of question every time. Here the distance is given. How much distance is traveled? 360 kilometer. This is the distance traveled. The train travels a distance of 360 kilometer at a uniform speed. And what is the uniform speed? So let original speed or original uniform speed, original speed of the train is x kilometer per hour. Now this same train is going to either decrease its speed or increase its speed. So they say if the speed had been 5 kilometer per hour more, this is the original speed which you have supposed, because initiation is essential, and now increased speed. It has increased the speed. So you know when the train increases speed, it takes less time to cover the same distance. So increase in speed, you write increased speed. Increased speed is x plus how much kilometer per hour has been increased? 5 kilometer per hour. X plus 5 kilometer per hour. This is the increased speed. And the relationship which I have to find is in time only, because it takes 1 hour less for the same journey. So time difference, because this time it will take more time. This time it has increased its speed, so therefore it will take less time. So in this case it will take less time due to increased speed, and here it is slower, therefore it will take more time. So time gap, time difference between these two is 1 hour. It takes 1 hour less. 1 hour less or 1 hour more. So if they increase the speed, they'll take less time. So now you use your physics formula, that is time equal to distance upon speed. You know, thus physics is creeping into this syllabus also, and it's very important to study physics. One who studied maths, he must go for physics also. The physics is always supported by mathematics, and so many things are further reconciles. So distance is equal to 360 kilometer, and this time the original speed is original time. I'm letting this to be original time. Originally how much it was taking, original time, that is 360 upon x hours. Every time it is hours because this is time. So time in hours because speed is in kilometer per hour. And time when speed is increased, time when speed is increased, we just see, and everywhere I'm trying to make the same thing. This time the distance is the same, but the speed has gone faster by 5 kilometer per hour. So distance upon time gives another time. So suppose this is t1 and this is time t2. The question says, the question says that the difference between these two time is 1 hour. But how will I write it? Whether I will write t1 minus t2 or t2 minus t1. Time difference, t1 minus t2 I am writing. Now you'll ask me, why are you writing t1 minus t2? Why not t2 minus t1? This is according to question. I am writing t1 to be greater because here the smaller speed is less. So time will be more. This is more. The fraction, in the fraction, if you increase the denominator, the fraction becomes less. Here it is the simple x, and here 5 is increased to the denominator. So this t2 will be less. And originally you can know that if speed is faster, it will take less time. So t2 is less, t1 is more. So more minus less is giving me 1 hour. So I'll write t1 minus t2 is 1 hour according to question. And then I will manipulate this t1 as 360 by x. Going to the next page. So 360 upon x minus 360 upon x plus 5 is equal to time gap, 1 hour. So this is also in hour, this is also in hour, and difference is also in hour. But if this is in minute somewhere, I have to convert this hour into minute also, or minute into hour also. That is for the sake of keeping the unit same. Now what shall I do? I will take the LCM of this, x multiplied by x plus 5. This is the LCM. If we divide the LCM by x, you are getting x plus 5. So 360, I am taking this thing common. So x plus 5 minus, if you divide x by x plus 5 to this, x is there. So you can write x here. And 360 in both, therefore 360 has been taken common. So you can cancel this x, and I'm getting 360 into 5 is 1800. 1800 upon x square plus 5x by distributive multiplication. This is equal to 1 upon 1, and on cross multiplication, because my purpose is to bring a quadratic equation in standard form, and the condition goes like this. And if you bring this thing to that left, you are getting this as 0. And now you have to solve this quadratic equation by middle term splitting method, in which sum is 5, product is minus 1800. Minus 1800. 36 into 5, 180. 180 over 10, that is 1800. So product is minus 1800, sum is 5. How will you manage it now? 1800. 1800. 1800 can be maintained like this. 1800 to 900 to 450. I'm going by prime factorization to 225, 375 and 325. So 5 and 5. So 45 and 5 to the 10, 10 to the 20, 20 to the 40. So 45 and 40. I can take 45 and 40 as a pair. So 45 minus and 45 4 ja 1800. So you can write x square plus 45x minus 40x minus 1800. If I am going correct, you can check. X common, x plus 45 minus 40 common, x plus 4 4 is 16, 2 4 5 is 20. So far I am going correctly. The factors are x plus 45 and at 0 and x minus 40 at 0. Again, if you go ahead, this gives you x equal to negative 45, which is not acceptable again because the speed cannot be negative. Here you will write not acceptable because speed cannot be negative. These are to be judged by your brain because distance cannot be negative, speed cannot be negative. So x is only left with 40. So I can say original speed, which is x. So original speed of the train is 40 km per hour. Original speed of the train 40 km per hour. And if they ask you about the increased speed, you will write 40 plus 5 because it has increased speed by 5 km per hour. So 45 km per hour. Now a simple check for your satisfaction. The distance was 360 km and speed is 40. Original speed is 40. So what is the time? Time T1 is 9 hours. And in another case, the distance is the same, but the speed has been increased from 40 to 45. So if you 45 here and cancel it, how much do you get? These two numbers are ending in 0 and 5, again divisible by 5. So if you divide by 5, you are getting 7 2 0. No, 7 2 and 5 9 ja 45. So 72 upon 9, how much is the answer? 72 upon 9 gives you 8 hours. You check the answer, that the question was saying that it takes 1 hour less. Is it not taking 1 hour less? It is taking 1 hour less. So you are completely satisfied with your answer. And now there is no doubt that you are going to get 5 marks in this question in your board. So one of the things you have understood, that means you have understood this type of sum completely. But I'll let you know in your important question section, which I'll discuss later, that sometimes this is manipulated in another way also. The same question can be asked in another way also. Same question can be asked that if you're buying some quantity at particular rate, the rate has increased now. So now you buy only 2 kilogram less. The equation can be made like that only. You are buying, initially you are buying 80 kilo of things at the rate of 5, at the rate of x per kilo. Now the rate has increased. It has become x plus 5. So to find the final rate, and you find the difference between these two to be 2 kilo less. So those questions are also based on this, but that is not a new question. Have a depth in it, have a depth study of the thing, and compare the the concept. The concept is taking to you at that place only. The thing is constant, that is speed here, so that is distance here. And in your household also, the consumption is fixed, and at the rate increases, your consumption have to be reduced by certain kg. So price of sugar has increased by 2 rupees per kilogram, and initially you were using 50 kilo of sugar, and now it has increased. So for that you are now reducing your consumption. So the question goes like that only. And again, one more concept was asked in board, that some kids have planned to go on a trip. They have this much money to spend, and since due to bad weather their trip has elongated for few days, and there they have to reduce their budget per day? So that is also based on the same question. I'm hinting about all those aspects because sometimes kids have not done these type of question, and then they come to me and say, sir, I could not do it because I did not study this trip question or the rate increase question on that. But those are all to be based on this equation making, which 4 or 5 questions from R.D. Sharma or somewhere else I'll discuss in later stage, that these questions simply reconcile to the same concept. So there is no harm in learning more things from R.D. Sharma or R.S. Agarwal, not NCERT, but you can go to widen your view of this chapter and have a deep-rooted concept of that. Now trains question is finished. This trains question has been asked. Now the another concept which I was talking, that time and work type of question. Here every play goes in reciprocals. If Mohan does a work in 5 hours, in 1 hour, in 1 hour, he will do 1/5 of the work. So what happens? Because you are doing less, you took 5 hours. Since you are spending only 1 hour, so you might have finished only 1/5 of the work. On this concept, they say two water taps together can fill a tank in 9 and 3/8 hours. Two water taps. This is question number 9. Important again because this comes the basic concept of class 7 maths. Water taps. How many water taps? Two water taps. Two water taps can fill a tank in how many hours? 9 and 3/8 hours. So in 1 hour, how much tank will be filled? 1 upon 9 8 are 72 and 3, 75/8 eighth. Or you can say 8 upon 75th part of the tank can be filled. Part can be filled in 1 hour. Because it is not filling for whole this much hour, it is doing work for only 1 hour. So in 1 hour, this will be reciprocal of that. So this is the concept just like this going on. And then they say the tap of larger diameter takes 10 hour less than the smaller one to fill the tank. So here the let or supposition things comes. Let the tap of larger diameter takes 10 hours less than the smaller one to fill. Let the tap of smaller diameter will take more time because diameter is small, so the flow of water will be little bit less. Smaller diameter takes how many hours? X hours to fill it. So in 1 hour, what will it do? It will fill 1 by x part. As I told you, everything is reciprocated here. According to question, tap of larger diameter takes larger diameter takes 10 hours less. Since the diameter is more, so flow of water is more, takes 10 hours less means it will fill in, it will fill the tank in x minus 10 hours. So in 1 hour, the larger tank, the larger diameter tank will fill 1 upon x minus 10 part. So they are running together, tubs together. This is together, both together. So what shall I do? This one reciprocated, this one reciprocated here, and this is also almost reciprocated here. So I'll do the equation like this: 1 upon x plus 1 together. Together means plus. So x minus 10 is equal to reciprocal of the time, that is a 9 is just 72 plus 3, 75 by 8, and the reciprocal of 1 upon 75 by 8 is 8 upon 75. So I'll write this is equal to, all things are reciprocated, so this is also, time is also, total time is also reciprocated. This is the equation which I am framing now. I'm taking the LCM as I do usually. This becomes x minus 10 plus x is 8 upon 75. So this is 2x minus 10 upon x square minus 10x by distributive property is equal to 8 upon 75. Nothing is to be cancelled. One more thing is that if I take 2 common, this becomes x minus 5 into 75. I'm just crossing it and taking 2 common also and doing this way. So is equal to 8 into x square minus 10x. Why I have done it? Because I want to lighten it to 4 ja 8. So you can say 75x minus 75 into 5, 375 is 4x square minus 40x. And if we write to bring all the things towards left, so 4x square plus 40x plus 75x, so already left, minus 375 is 0. You're getting 4x square plus 115x minus 375 is 0. So here I'll tell you that better go by just this has a coefficient here. So in this case, the coefficient 4 and 375 is to be multiplied together to get the product. So I'm getting 375 into 4 is 1500. So this is minus 1500 is the product. If the coefficient is here, then A into C is the product. So this is A here, this is C here. So A into C is the product, and sum is 115 positive. So that is 115 positive. So 100 into 15. I think this is the culprit which I have to look for. 100 plus 15 is 115, and 100 into 15 is 1500. So things are easily done. There is no need to go for long, prime factorization method or to make pairing. Easier way of just by interpolation. I found this to be correct. That is, this is 100x plus how many x? And the sign is coming wrong, I think. I have to check the sign here. This is 1 by x, this is 1 by x minus 10, x minus 10 plus x is, and this is the LCM. So 2x minus 10, if I take 2 common, x minus 5 and 75, x square minus 10x, so 75x minus 375 is equal to 4x square minus 40x. So 4x square, this is negative, man, because it's transposing 4x square from right to left. This is negative, man, negative, man. So if you take negative common here, so this gives you 4x square minus 115x plus 375 Now it is completely balanced. So 0 upon, if I remove this minus 1 from here, this becomes 0. So your quadratic equation is 4x square minus 115x plus 375. And this is also very intelligent that you should check your answer. The factorization is becoming wrong. That means I have done something wrong here. So I have to check, pre-check, recheck my quadratic formation if I have done something wrong or not. And the fundamental thing is that I have done fundamentally wrong because I have brought this thing from right to left. I did not change the sign and I got trapped. Or trapped was caught by this process because I was making some factorization. Things were coming one positive, one negative. That is not the rule of the factorization. And here it can be very easily possible. I can write 4x square now minus 100x minus 15x or plus 375 is 0. And here things are very clear. If you take 4x common, x minus 25 and minus 15 common, x minus 25. And the i's of factor must be equal, which was not in previous case. I was finding one to be plus, other to be minus, which alerted me that I have done something wrong and I rechecked it. So don't go further. If you find somewhere something is going wrong, you judge it by your intuition that I'm going wrong somewhere, I should recheck it, because don't go further. If you go further, then it will be difficult to look back all the things again. Sometimes people are hurry in a board exam, so they leave this mistake as it is. So one of the factor is x minus 25, x minus 25 is 0, and the other is 4x minus 15. So revision is very, very important, because people say that whenever you submit your paper to a tutor, your hands are gone. You cannot say that, give me back my paper, I'll correct it. That's not the chance there in the board exam. This is not your school, that is school will have mercy some on you and will let you know the things, do the correction. Here, what happens, even in schools, they do not give you the paper back once you submit it. So your duty is to recheck things before submitting the paper. So at least for maths paper, it is very important to recheck your papers completely and satisfy yourself whether you are going wrong somewhere or not. So x equal to 25 and x equal to 15 by 4. So if I take x equal to 25, that this smaller diameter tank takes 25 hours. So I can say smaller diameter tank takes 25 hours. This is smaller diameter tank. Yeah. And larger diameter tank will take 25 minus 10, that is 15 hours. And if you reciprocate it, 1 upon 25 and 1 upon 15, take the LCM and find the answer, you will get the answer of right side to be equal. So this is 15 hours and 25 hours time. Smaller diameter tank takes 25 hours to fill the tank, and larger diameter takes, of course it will take less time, 15 hours to fill the tank. Now you will ask me, what are you going to do with this 15 upon 4? If you're willing to try it, you can go for this 15 upon 4 also. 15 upon 4 is 3.75. The another answer is positive this time, so I cannot escape. I have to recheck whether it is possible, to fill it. So see the question, x equal to 15 upon 4. 15 upon 4 gives 3.3 and 3 by 4. That is 3.75 hours. This is the time taken by smaller diameter tank. And if you subtract 10 from it for finding a larger diameter tank, you will get a negative number. If you subtract 10 from it, why I'm rejecting that number? Therefore, I'm discussing this thing to explain you why not take this 15 upon 4, because this is positive this time. I have to take this 15 by 4 hours also into consideration, but I'm not taking it because the value of X is 3.75 hours and the other tank is 3.75 minus 10. This gives me minus 6.25 hours and time can again be not negative. So this negative thing rejects this value and I'm compelled to leave it as it is, that this value cannot be accepted although this has positive sign this time. So the answer, this one is correct. So this is the time and work concept here and some factorizations going on here. 10th question is again based on that two trains, one is express train and one is passenger train. Usually the express train takes less time than the passenger train, and the question will go on like that only as you have done in case of 8, because this time also the distance is the fixed thing and that is 132-kilometer distance. The express train from Mysore to Bangalore will take some time and the passenger train is little bit slower than that. So the average speed of passenger train will be x kilometer per hour and the average speed of this fast train, which is the express train, is 11 kilometer per hour more. So go by that concept only, find the answer, and if you find it tough, ask me in the next lecture. I'll solve every sum whichever you are sending me back in your comment section. Till then, goodbye. See you again in the next class, and the next chapter will be the nature of roots dependent questions, which is the last thing which I'm going to discuss in this quadratic equation. Then better I should go the algebra part. That will be the in next class. I'm going to have this nature of roots questions in which some variable is asked and the conditions are given, and sometimes they will ask you to check whether this is possible or not, whether you can find the square root or not, whether roots are possible or not. That is on the criteria of discriminant only. So the questions are based on discriminant section only, and a few questions are there, only 5 or 6 questions, although I have an accumulation of large number of questions on that to find the variables when the conditions are given. You can go by that also, but I'm in a rush and therefore I'll finish the textbook first and then some important questions I'll mark, and then I'll go to linear equations in two variables in the third lecture. So till then, goodbye child. Thank you. Join the next class in time. Thank you.